Now, San Antonio Living.
Welcome back to San Antonio Living. It is a National Cholesterol Month, and this morning we're learning a little bit more about cholesterol and how it affects us. Joining us this morning, Rebecca Reeves. It's so good to see you.
Nice to see you.
You know, a lot of people my age, we're starting to learn a little bit more about cholesterol. We might be hearing it for the first time when you go to the doctor and you get your little test back and you're like, hi, cholesterol, what? Where did that come from? So first of all, for people that don't know, what is cholesterol?
Cholesterol is a natural substance found in our bodies. Our livers make cholesterol, but the problem is sometimes there's an obstruction or we start making too much.
Right.
We can't handle it. And so sometimes a lot of times because of the food we're eating, it starts to build up and then we get the plaque in the arteries and leads to those heart attacks.
For example, if you're eating a lot of these, you may have high cholesterol. There are a lot of foods that contribute to high cholesterol. What are some of those foods?
Primarily foods which are now high in saturated fat and trans fatty acids. We know dietary cholesterol plays a part, but now the evidence is showing it's more that saturated fat, which is primarily found in foods of animal origin and in tropical oils like coconut oil and in trans fats, which we still find. And that's when the label says partially hydrogenated oil. And that's what some of these products have.
Right.
So you just need to find other products which are just coming from real oils or low fat. So they're removing a lot of that animal fat.
And of course, you know, a lot of doctors will tell you, first they'll tell you to change your diet. If that doesn't work, then they're going to throw in some sort of prescription drugs or things like that. But let's start with the diet because that's the easiest thing to fix. What do you suggest we add into our diet or look for at the grocery store to help lower that cholesterol?
Well, first of all, as I said, you need to really cut out more products which have animal fat in them. Then the next thing is to look for foods which contain coral-wise plant sterols. And if you can find this on the package, you know you're getting a functional food, a product, which helps lower cholesterol as it works in your body. And it's perfectly safe. Plant sterols are natural compounds. There's no harm in them at all. Never any kind of side effects have ever been found. But by just using these plant sterols, you can lower that bad cholesterol you just mentioned or that cholesterol in your blood by 10 to 15%.
That's a lot.
Without drugs.
So if I'm making a sandwich and I've got the white bread choice or perhaps a choice that's got this coral-wise on it, I'm going to choose this because it's going to be better for me.
Absolutely. And then if you're drinking milk, which we all should do with our cereal, we encourage you to use this Smart Balance Heart Healthy because it also contains the plant sterols. Instead of, and this is what we're saying, like whole milk. Now this is going to be full of that saturated fat that you don't particularly want. Also, if you're using margarine, cut out that butter. People still think it's good to eat butter, but it's not. This is not healthy for you. Rather, look for these products which have plant sterols in them. Now, the wonderful thing about the orange juice, this Minute Maid orange juice, which is heart-wise, the milk, this margarine, and the bread, you can be found at H-E-B.
That's perfect. We've got a ton of H-E-Bs in San Antonio. So these are products that we picked up. Again, you can see, look, the little H-E-B logo right there. So these are products that you can look for at your local H-E-B and start subbing those in for some of the other products that will contribute to high cholesterol.
Right, and eventually, if not stopped, those heart attacks. And you know, women die of heart attacks and heart disease more than men.
How often should we have our cholesterol checked if you know, we're 30, 40 years old?
At least once a year, I would say. Now, some people say, oh, if you're younger, maybe every 4 years. But if there's any history of heart disease in your family, and that's when you should start checking back. Even as young people, you need to investigate if aunts and uncles, etc. If you have that history, go get it checked. You need to be watching.
And are there symptoms that we should watch out for too of high cholesterol? Does it cause any symptoms?
Not really, unless it really gets bad, and that's the problem. Because then it could start having, you could start having angina, you know, shortness of breath, but that's late.
How many tortillas should we be eating a day?
Well, you know, corn tortillas are okay.
Corn is good for you, right?
Good, because see, the flour tortillas in many cases still contain lard. Now, many people have switched to shortening, but shortening is one of those trans fat products. So, but corn is great.
Corn breakfast tacos tomorrow, everyone. Very good. Always good to see you, Rebecca. Thank you. Great information. Look for the heart sign. It says Coral-Wise. There's more information online, coralwise.com. All sorts of information there for some low cholesterol options. More San Antonio Living next.